Right? So offshore plant, you say, ocean plant, offshore plant, platforms, the tiles. See, from land side, you see Gulf of Mexico. There is a oil production field is very many in southern Houston, Texas. There was a famous film called Giant, old film. You heard about Giant? You should know about this famous actor, Giant. Giant, is it G? Giant? No? Right. So old one, eh? Here. See. You cannot. Anyway, this one is probably more than 70 years old. Look, it's like, but it's a love story between three people. It's a two brother, but they are probably not same mother. Something like that. But he was younger, is older, and he find out in the story land-based oil reservoir, so become a very rich man. So that's why because at the beginning they two looks like a lover, right? But he loves her, something like that. But after he get big money, something. He's more famous. I can let all this name later. Anyway, the story saying oil production at the time. Come back to my. So the oil production was probably really booming in South Texas area. But when after years coming, they pump all the oils in the land base, so they come back toward the water side. They started ocean engineering, oil production from the Gulf of Mexico. They still produce big gas and oil from Gulf of Mexico, but the problem is they go to more deeper sites, far away from the land side. So that is history. So at the beginning, in the land side, they started to make this tower, steel tower. But when the going toward the water area, they still use tower, but the tower height becoming higher, right? Well, you see that as a mechanical engineer, if you have a long tower, the problem is structural stability, because there is a force in this way by using water streaming or something, or heating by another ship. They are very unstable, right? Very weak from long beam, single beam. So that this maximum, should be a maximum allowable depth of the structure. So probably several hundred meters. They still use that kind of. But after that, nowadays it should be floating ones. Floating. And there are many different types of floating ones. Finally, we arrive at this ship type. Looks like a ship. This one is the most advanced one because of the water depth. Even more studies behind it because this is overview only. Fronting structure. Yes. Okay. And floating structure. Oh. FPSO. Have you heard about FPSO before? No. It's a short name of floating production storage and sorry. Here, this one is the FPSO. And it is not looks like a ship, right? Here, this one. No, I don't think this. Wait, it is FPSO. What's the FPSO? It is more looks like a ship, right? Probably on the bottom area, below the water surface, it looks like a ship because there is a wave is coming, water is flowing. That's why they make this one looks like a ship. So functioning and floating. This is floating, right? Production, oil production or gas production. They produce, not exploration. They produce for the sale. Produce. Storage. They store the oil and gas inside the ship. Inside the ship for several weeks or months. And then offloading. Offloading. This is an offloading ship. This is a conventional oil tanker or gas tanker. So when they have a full of storage here, they pull the ship and then they offload to this tanker because this one is staying there and producing for several years until oil reservoir is empty. So when the storage is full, they call shuttle tank. Ultimately for the processing and storage of oil and gas, right? Particularly effective in remote, far away, or deep water location where pipeline. So in when the water is not so deep, they can use pipeline. Oil is coming from the seabed, right? In here, they are just make a drilling, and drilling. This is drill, and this is drill pipe here, drill pipe. Then from here they deep drilling here somewhere in the reservoir, and oil and gas is coming forward this way. But when the water is not so deep, they can use pipeline. This is more economical than and float. Otherwise, they use a pump into this, and then they can pump up to the ship. So this is looks like an FPSO, floating ship. So they are saying instead of a seabed pipeline, and it is more cost effective. So it should be decision between pipeline or floating vessel productions. Facility like this. And once the oil field is empty, they can be moved to another place. But they need to remodeling the FPSO because the processing, because if once they move to another oil field, the chemical composition of that oil field is different. So they need to process a little bit differently. They contain more water, they contain more sulfur, they contain more gas rather than oil, depending on the. So each site, they have their own specific chemical composition. They need to modify their operation on top of this. So they can say module for operation. This one is only a idea sketch or computer graphics coming from MIT, saying the offshore floating nuclear power plant. So we did in KAIST also do similar work because of the many different reasons. One of them can be North Korea. North Korea want to have their nuclear power plant, old story. Still they have but there was a big debate whether they should have a way of nuclear or something, right? So one idea can be this one. We can, or other country can make a floating nuclear power plant, rent to them, North Korea, until they are not making trouble. Once there is some problem, then we can move down to other place. But there can be one solution. So that's why we did some conceptual design of this. Wind power, turbine system, biggest one, 10 megawatt, 10 megawatt, right? And size, diameter is 180 meter, 180 meter. Diameter is 180 meter. You know how many floors of this building? One. And then can you estimate the height of this building? About 20 meter. 20 meter. I was saying 4 meter per floor. Yeah. Right. Around, right? 20 meter. I was drilled then how many floors for this? How many floors? Divided by 44 meter. 40 45 floors building is rotating. Is to produce electricity. Now the commercial market moving more than this. Big and big system is strict. Big electric stove in your home. How much electricity they need to operate? 1,000 watts. 1,000 watts. Oh, yeah. So compare this. 2,000 kilowatts. So 2,000 kilowatt? No. This is a 10,000 kilowatt. No. 2 kilowatt. 2 kilowatt. 2,000 watt. So anyway, this is 8 years, right? Years, 40 years ago, right? 15 meter size, 50 kilowatts electricity. 10 years ago, this is a design at the time, not production. But nowadays, it's bigger power turbine is operating on this. This is a trend of wind power systems. At the beginning, it was land-based. And Germany, 6 megawatt. Land fixed to the land. And moving toward the ocean, water fixed. Same as this one, but at the water level is shallow. So a little bit more, and then foot is fixed to the earth. But nowadays it is floating. Very similar to ocean platform types before, right? Because of the water depth is increasing. It's more economical to make a floating one rather than fixed structural object. The size is increasing also too, size. Power size and also diameter is increasing. Because this one is very problem for the land side. And also the size is bigger, noise level is higher. Also the area, that's why they move to ocean. Also the wind speed is higher in ocean rather than land side. The problem here is, this one problem is similar to ocean platform, that the electricity delivery from the faraway sites. Similar to oil, they need to come back to the oil, transport oil far away from the ocean to the land side using shuttle tank. This one, you cannot make a cable far away, 1,000 kilometers outside. You need to make another way of making delivery of electricity or longer cabling. So that's why expensive, because of the structure itself and also delivery of electricity. Questions?
What does O&M mean?
Means O&M. Oh, here it is. Operation and maintenance. Any engineering course need to have operation and maintenance. Your air conditioner, your TV, maintenance, after service, maintenance. This one is very not easy to maintain. Say something is wrong with this is, see that the propeller is rotating because of the wind, and then there is a electricity generator inside this housing, right? And only wind needed is a cable to make the generated electricity to the consumption side, right? Only one cable is enough. But if, say, because of the high wind or something wrong with this generator or gearbox or the blade itself, how can you repair it? It's like, because it's high place, and also the device is heavy, big and heavy. So you cannot carry yourself. Then how can I can you may need a very big crane, but there is also limitation. 100 meter, 200 meter. But still, there's a crane on this one. That's it. But what happened here? 1,000 kilometers outside from the beach, there is a wind and waves coming, storming coming, floating, and then big. So the maintenance is very headache. So costly. This is already past the time. Let's start from here. Question? Any question? Question from online? No? Oh, one thing you should remind that on Thursday, there is no